Nintendo Switch! Ooh! So they just showed the new trailer for that just aired online, and a lot of people are now pretty much really hyped up for it. It wasn't a perfect trailer, I'll go ahead and say that, but it does look like a much better launch will come with this than the Wii U. It really looks like Nintendo is going to try to make this console a winner, because from what we've seen in it, it looks like it's going to be a lot better. So, I mean, so it started pretty late. I mean, for me, where I live, it didn't start until I think about 10, so that was already a pretty long while, and usually a lot longer than they usually do, but it was definitely worth it. So, they started off with pretty much just talking about the controller, which is the second time they've done that with a Nintendo console, I think. They did it with the Wii U, and they're doing it with this. So they pretty much just went and talked about what it can do and everything like that. All its buttons, and everything like that. So one of the things it actually comes with is a little just a battery pack, or not a battery pack, but something that you can plug in when you're in the car, so you won't run out when you're in the middle of the road or something. So that would definitely be good, because if you're just playing a game that you're running out of batteries and you're like, oh crap, all I can do is save right now and turn it off. But no, they will allow you to go and plug it in and then keep playing. So that I thought was pretty cool. They also have this new HD motion control thing where just they were talking about how you could, like, it'd be like if you're holding a cup of ice or something. You could, if you shake it once, you could hear one ice in there, or if you can also shake it and you can hear two ice in there. You can shake it again, you might hear three ice in there. So it's supposed to be really crisp, I guess would be the word. I mean, I guess so, but it's pretty cool looking. But I really don't care about just rumbling on game controllers or anything like that. It personally, for me, it always kind of bothered me, but for anybody who likes it, I can see why they're excited for it. So let's talk about the games. So the first one they showed was this one game called 1-2 Switch. At first, it looked like it was going to be another Red Dead Redemption game. It had this Western feel to it. It had these two guys walking up to each other, going like this, just twitching their fingers and whatever you see in Westerns, and everyone thought it was going to be Red Dead Redemption. I was like, oh yeah, they're bringing it to the Nintendo. And then after that, they went and draw their guns, only for them to be the Switch controllers, and just go like, to be honest, it was the stupidest looking game there. Just out of all the games they showed, it was probably the worst. And even then, it didn't look that bad, but it still didn't look that fun. It pretty much just looked like the basic party game that comes with every Nintendo console this time around the time of its launch. That's what it pretty much looked like. It's gonna be the family game, so it doesn't look that great to me, but it was such a disappointment. Then they also have a game called ARMS. This is like a game where you stretch your arms, where they have boxing gloves on, and they go and fight each other. It's like Rock and Sock and Robots and Stretch Armstrong together. It's kind of weird, but it did look at least a little fun. I'm not sure if it's a game I would buy, but I think it's a game I would at least rent. At the very least. It looks like a game that I would maybe play for a couple days or so, play with some friends, and then after that I would probably never play it again. But it did look better than what they showed at first, so the Switch didn't turn out with the best looking games at first, but as they went on, they went and showed a lot better ones. So one game they showed was another Dragon Quest game, and I like the Dragon Quest series. I just actually got into it pretty much, and I got this game for Christmas, and so far it's pretty good. It's a remake of one of the ones on the PlayStation, and I like it so far. It's the first one I've ever played, and I like it. So to see Dragon Quest games on the Switch is pretty cool, and because I like this, I think I probably will get those ones. So I'm excited for it. They didn't really show much on it, but I am excited for it. They're also going to have Fire Emblem. They only showed about 5 seconds of footage for it. They showed one guy going and pretty much getting a sword out. That's really all they showed from it. So there's really not much to discuss for it. I've never played a Fire Emblem game before, so there's really not much I can say on that. Then they also showed this game where it had all these monsters in this room, and then you saw some red tree blossoms going and blowing in the wind, and then you saw this one guy, I think it was a yellow metal suit, going and looking toward the monsters or something. It looks pretty cool. I have no idea what it was. I didn't see the title. I think it was in Japanese, but it looks pretty cool. It might be a game I'll possibly get in the future. It's a new game I'll get to play, so maybe I'll play it. And they also showed Splatoon 2. I was actually surprised by that because I thought it was a little too early. The game's only 2 years old, so I was like, they're not going to have a Splatoon 2. When I saw it, I was going to be like, it's probably like an upgrade or something. Just Splatoon 1.5. It's just pretty much going to be a graphical upgrade. That's what it's going to be. But in the end, it was a Splatoon 2 game. I'm really surprised. So I've never played the original Splatoon before, so I really can't say much on it. But it does look pretty fun. Maybe at one point I will pick it up, but I just thought it was way too soon for it. They also showed a bunch of other games throughout the very end of the thing, like I think I saw F-Zero. I'm not really sure if it was it, but it kind of looked like it was it. I'm not sure though. And they also showed a Rayman game, which is pretty cool. One other game they showed was Fika, which I don't give two craps about. I really don't care about the sports games that much. I mean, I like the baseball games, I guess, but I really don't care about the soccer games. I didn't really care about that at all. So, one of the big games they showed there was the Mario game. That was just... At first, I didn't know what it was going to be. I was just like, okay, so it takes place in New York or something, and then, because it showed this city place, and after that, it went and showed a sewer and some person trying to jump out of it. I was like, who's that going to be? All of a sudden, Mario jumps out, and I'm like, what's he doing here? And I was just like, Mario in the real world? What is going on? It was just so weird looking. But at the same time, it does look kind of cool. It got me interested in it. I'm really hoping it's not going to turn out like Sonic 06, but I'm guessing they're also taking it from Sonic Adventure as well, so that gives me hope for it. It's called Super Mario Odyssey, so from what I can gather, it's pretty much just going to be about Mario going to these different types of worlds, and just like I guess he's going to be in a real world and a cartoony world and others, because it also showed that one Mexican-like city that they showed months ago in the other trailer, so that was like a more cartoony way of it. So it's pretty much just going to be about him going to different worlds and I guess trying to go and save Peach once again. It was just like, it looked so weird. I'm kind of wondering what the conversations are going to be like. Are they going to be like, oh, you look weird? Or are they going to be like, holy shit, it's Mario! What are you doing here? It just looked so freaking weird. But just really interesting at the same time. I mean, and people in the comment system were saying just they didn't really like it, the look of it, and I can understand that. I can see where they're coming from, but for me personally, I think it looks pretty cool. Okay, and they also had, of course, Zelda. This was the game that people were also looking really forward to because we really want to know the release date. And we finally got it, which is going to be the day the system launches, March 3rd, which to me seems pretty early. They have a little bit more than a month to get this thing out here. They really need to show it. I think they're going to show this trailer again during the Super Bowl or something, or some other trailer during the Super Bowl, but they really need to show this thing out, and it's going to be $300, so I think that's a pretty good price. I mean, people were saying $250, other people were saying $350, and some people were saying $300, so I think that's a good price. It's less than I paid for the Wii U, so I like it. Maybe I'll get it at launch, I'm not really sure, but I'm still debating on that. But for the Zelda game, one weird thing they showed is that it's pretty much been confirmed it's going to have voice acting. So that is going to be a major change to the series. We've never had voice acting in a Zelda game before. It's so really weird. And we also had some game where I think Zelda was bathing or something. She was just going like this in the lake. It was really weird. I hope at the very least they keep Link silent. Link doesn't talk. I think we learned that from the CDI games, Dongalos, and the series. Excuse me, princess. We learned that Link is not allowed to talk in any dimension whatsoever. So, but for the other characters, they can talk all they want, and the voices were in Japanese, so I'm wondering who they're going to get in English, because I'm pretty sure they will get some people in English, because if they don't, it would kind of annoy some people. Plus, there are people who are blind, and it would be a lot better if they could have voices to hear while playing the game. So I'm pretty sure they will have English voices, and I just hope they get the right people. They need to be perfect. If they want more voice actors in future Zelda games, they need the perfect voice actors. They just can't. They can't really even have one bad one. They need to have the perfect cast, absolutely. So I trust Nintendo. I think they will get it right, but it is still kind of nerve-wracking. But I'm excited for this game. I'm not sure if I'm going to get the Wii U version or the Switch version. I think I'm going to get the Switch version, but I'm still really excited for it. Every time I see this game, just every time I see a new trailer for it, I get more and more and more excited for it. It's going to look like it's a really, really good game, so I'm looking forward to that. So those were pretty much the big things they showed throughout the whole thing. They also showed a few other games, but what I talked about was pretty much the main stuff they talked about. But Nintendo, you actually are going and outdoing yourselves this time. I am starting to think Nintendo Switch will be a success. I think will be successful. Just so far, you're getting the marketing right, you're getting the launch right, and you have the name right. So far, you're doing really good. You just gotta keep the game's good. You gotta keep those first-party people, and you gotta keep the marketing out there. If you do that, then there will be probably a big success. So I can't wait for it. It looks like it's gonna be a good system. So hope you enjoyed watching this, and I hope you have a great day. Take care.